I do want to ask about that supply. Pfizer has said it can manufacture globally 100 million doses of this by the end of this year. With this 100 million dose purchase order from the U.S. government, does that mean the entire initial supply is coming to the United States?
No, Meg, thank you for the opportunity to join you and talk about this contract announcement this morning to supply up to 100 million doses of our vaccine candidate to the US. We're obviously very excited about that. So, in terms of the answer to your question, we're obviously working extremely hard. Our manufacturing team are working very hard to scale up 2 parallel supply chains, a dedicated supply chain for the US based in our Pfizer facilities in St. Louis, in Andover, Massachusetts, and Kalamazoo, Michigan, and then in parallel, along with our partners BioNTech, to scale up a parallel EU supply chain. So our anticipation, as we've said publicly, is that globally we expect to be able to manufacture up to 100 million doses by the end of this year, and up to 1.3 billion doses by the end of 2021. So we're plainly in the process right now of making the necessary investments to scale up our supply chain, and we're looking to accelerate the manufacture and production of our vaccine as quickly as we possibly can in order to be able to supply what plainly is a position where demand will exceed supply.
Absolutely. How will you make those decisions? I know you've also struck a deal to supply, I believe, 30 million doses in the UK. If you get regulatory approval late fall, early winter, the end of this year, how quickly will those 100 million be supplied in the United States?
So the contract obviously provides for those doses to be supplied to the US starting in Q4 this year, and obviously subject to the successful completion of our phase 3 study. And I just want to underscore that whilst we've obviously seen very encouraging preliminary data from our phase 1 study, we need to confirm the safety and effectiveness of our vaccine in our large pivotal study. But in parallel with all of that, we're really doing that work on our supply chain to try and make sure that we can bring those doses to the countries where we have agreements in place as quickly as we possibly can. So really, the way you should look at this, Meg, is it's 100 million doses globally by the end of 2020, and then obviously that production continuing to ramp and scale up during 2021.
And that phase 3 trial, you guys are saying you're planning to start in the U.S. by the end of this month. I mean, that's really within the next week or so, right? Do you have a trial start date you can give us?
Well, our commitment remains to, we believe we still are on track to be able to start that pivotal phase 2b/3 study by the end of this month. Obviously, we're at the 22nd of July, so we're coming towards the end of the month. And we will receive, actually, in the next few days, remaining data from our phase 1 study. And I think, as I said in my testimony to Congress yesterday, we expect to be able to use that data to make a selection of a final vaccine candidate to take into that study, and also a selection of the dose that appears to give us the optimal balance of safety and also effectiveness, and across all age ranges. We'll submit these data to the FDA, and the FDA have been really exceptional in terms of their collaboration, and by that I mean real-time engagement with our data, reviewing our submissions, and so on and so forth. So as things stand, we still believe we have a lot of work to do. We're working literally 24/7 on this, but we believe we have a critical path to be able to initiate that phase 3 study by the end of this month.
And Pfizer is doing things a little bit differently from other companies in this space. You did not take BARDA funding for the development of this vaccine, and you're not participating in the government orchestration of the large clinical trials. So are you going to be competing directly with companies like Moderna, which is planning on starting on Monday, to get access to people to test your vaccine on?
No, we don't believe so. I mean, I think plainly the need is very significant, and certainly we believe that there are many sites around the U.S. that we, Moderna, AstraZeneca, other companies that are in anticipating going into pivotal trials will be engaging in, and we certainly don't believe that competition for sites or patients is going to be a rate limiting step.